I think I'd die if I don't know what I'd do.
So we're rolling. What have you been up to?
Not much, man. A lot of YouTube, a lot of Jiu Jitsu. Same old life, you know.
Okay. What belt are you now?
I'm a blue belt, and I've been one for quite a long time.
Okay.
So I guess it depends on the gym. You know, do you know about stripes and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. I forget, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of Jiu Jitsu gyms, you'll be like a white belt, a blue belt, a purple belt, and you get these stripes, so you know when you're gonna move up. And the gym I'm at does not have stripes. So gyms used to not have stripes.
Yeah.
And there's blue belts, you know, who've been there, you know, been a blue belt for 15 years, and there's ones that have been a blue belt for much shorter. There's a guy that was a black belt in like 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just beating everybody in it.
So they just kind of tell you when you're ready to test?
No. They don't tell you anything. So a lot of the gyms also, you'll know when you're going to move up in belt.
Okay.
And I guess motivation-wise,
yeah,
that's cool. But my place is like just all of a sudden. I mean, I don't even care about the belts.
Yeah.
You know, the belts don't really matter. It matters, you know, how good you are.
Yeah.
And there's blue belts that beat purple belts, or white belts that will beat blue belts. So it doesn't, you know, it doesn't really matter.
Cool. Yeah.
You dabbled in jiu-jitsu.
I did. Right? Dabbled enough to get my ribs broken.
Yeah. So I have my ligaments in the back part of my ribs are all torn up.
Oh man.
And it's not as bad as having your rib broken, but it doesn't. They never got better, so it's been like this for 3 years. So if you just touch it, it's like a 9 out of 10
pain.
Yeah, it's super annoying. And then, I mean, I had my knee, you know, reconstructed.
Okay.
ACL. What's it called? Meniscus.
Oh, dude.
I tore a tendon in my groin, which was just like took forever. So you got injured. Like,
gotta be painful, dude.
Yeah, you can see my finger now. See that? See that right there? Yeah. So.
But it's interesting because I talked to some guys who've been pro fighters.
Yeah.
And they just get used to training injured.
Yeah.
Training with pain.
I mean, I don't even do like competitions or anything like that. But you know, I'm almost 40, and it's different doing it as 40 compared to if you're like a 20-year-old. Dude.
Yeah.
I like, my biggest regret in my entire life is not doing jiu-jitsu when I was younger. Like, I think about it all the time. That's like my main. I mean, besides my family and stuff like that, my main thing I think about. Yeah. It's so fun.
I get it. No, it was fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And what I liked is I had a good gym. I mean, I got injured, which I guess can happen at any academy. But what I liked about, I went to Carpe Diem.
Yeah.
And what was so cool is when you're new, people know you're new.
Yeah.
And they'll show you stuff.
Yeah. My question though is, I mean, was it the first time that you did jiu-jitsu when you broke your rib, or
it was a trial lesson?
Now, my question is how that happened, because I would never break somebody's like.
No, they put me with a white belt.
Yeah.
Because he spoke English.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
that was the only reason.
Okay, so my opinion, and you can bleep out the gym that you went to if you want to, is you would never put a white belt with a white belt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I know that now.
Yeah. I mean, was it a knee on your rib or something like that, or
it was the whole body?
Yeah. So, I mean, accidents can happen. There's no doubt about that, but you can greatly decrease the risk of an accident if they had a black belt with you.
Exactly. You know, I felt so much safer sparring with a brown belt or a black belt. Like these guys who are like a 10-year brown belt, and they really know their stuff. They can control their body. And then when they tap you out, you say, hey, show me what you did. And they would. Yeah. That's what I like, was the community and the...
Well, I'm not worried about rolling with purple belts, brown belts, or black belts. Blue belts, you know, I can, you know, it's fine, but you can get hurt because you're both close to each other's, you know, ability, and you really want to win. Like, I'm super competitive. Like, it changes my whole mood for the day, which is not necessarily a good thing. But with white belts, sometimes I get worried because, like, you could just be a really strong guy and be a white belt and get somewhere with that. I mean, usually they'll lose, but, you know, you can injure someone really easily.
Sure, and, you know, they don't have the control.
Exactly, and I say with jiu-jitsu, most of the time, I'd say 95% of the time from my experience, I got injured from my own fault. Like, unless you're tapping and they're not stopping, that's their fault. But usually it's some weird movement or explosive.
I think the next time, so I had one rib that was broken for sure.
Yeah.
So I got an x-ray. And when I went back for the what do you call it? The checkup.
Yeah.
He said, well, let me take another look at your x-rays. And he goes, actually, you broke 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
2 were cracked. The other one was separated. And that's what I could feel and hear in the morning when I got out of bed. And like getting out of bed, getting dressed, everything hurt.
Yeah, I mean, at least with my gym, like everybody's super nice. I'm sure the place that you went, everybody's super nice. But one of the main things you'd want somebody who's having a trial lesson is, I want to do jiu-jitsu again.
Yeah.
And if you break a rib, the person's usually not going to come back.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, like, I just thought, because I listened to other people, listen to podcasts, these guys talk about jiu-jitsu, and that's what got me so excited about trying. And then, but they also talk about, you can get injured, because you're basically like simulating a death match, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, well, if you get injured on your trial lesson, then that's the worst that can happen.
Yeah.
The worst thing can happen. So it's just going to be like good stuff from here on.
Yeah, but you quit.
I did. Well, so I what I did again was I don't know if they were weak, but it was almost like a wrestling move where I had to go, my opponent was on all fours and I had to go over the top of him.
Yeah.
And I landed on his back.
Yeah.
And cracked my ribs again.
Yeah.
And then I was done.
Well, I mean, yeah.
3rd time I cracked my ribs in 1 year.
Yeah.
Because it takes a couple months to heal, and you're still tentative,
Yeah.
I was cleaning the floor of the shower.
Yeah.
And slipped and fell on my chest on the bathtub.
Yeah, sounds fun.
And cracked my ribs 3rd time, and that's when I stopped.
Yeah. You should just stop like doing anything at that point. You just fucking
don't even wake up.
Yeah.
Just give up.
Yeah.
But now I work out with a group of guys that are really good, and they really focus on form.
Yeah.
Just form, because like the guy I'm working with, he said like, dude, you're gonna be 3 months to get to the start line.
Yeah.
Because I've been a sedentary lawyer. I'm 55.
Yeah.
And fortunately, my trainer Nick is he's 51.
Yeah.
And like, so he knows in your 50s, like, you can't go as hard as you did when you're 20.
Yeah.
And that's and I don't talk about it too much because I want to do like a video about it.
Yeah.
But we're doing 5 days a week.
That's awesome, man.
And we focus on form.
Yeah.
And form and form.
Well, that's what I'm like at the gym too. Like, I'm pretty fucking jacked if I get my shirt off. But it's so funny because I use like lighter weights sometimes than like females. And, you'll see these guys on Twitter like, heavy, well, I mean, how can I explain this? There was a trend where lighter weights were like form, and lighter weights were cool. And then it became, now it's again, heavy. Like, you fucking pussies type of thing. But I'm still like, everything I do is not for the gym. It's for functional sports, either for boxing or for jiu-jitsu. So, and it's weird because I look big. Yeah. And I don't even use that. But I've really messed up my knees just from jiu-jitsu because I use my legs a lot and from too heavy squats. And they're feeling so much better now. But yeah.
Good. Another thing I totally changed was diet.
Yeah.
Went carnivore.
Oh, really?
Or keto, basically, like steak and eggs, avocados, stuff like that. I
have a weird body where sugar works really well with me.
Oh,
I was just telling somebody, I always tell people, yeah. But I'm overall very healthy. I always have been very healthy. My parents are. But like I can eat like Captain Crunch for breakfast and like, 5 eggs and like
you don't get sugar coma?
No. I'll just go to the gym and fucking pump shit out really fast. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I have that body where maybe I abused it when I was younger.
Yeah.
With the sweets, but if I have even something that's in Japan they put a lot of sugar and stuff, right? Like the savory and the sweet.
Yeah.
Like a lot of like yakiniku sauce always has sugar.
Wow. Yeah, it does. It's really sweet.
And if I have that sugar in the sauce, I'll get kind of
really. Yeah. Maybe I do get it. Like I do get sleepy and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't eat like a lot of carbs.
Yeah.
I like sweet stuff. I never drank really.
Okay.
I do drink. I'm not the type of person that says I never drink anything, but I prefer sweets for sure.
Yeah, well, I do have a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
I think that the major change I've made is the refined carbs.
Yeah, I think for like a lot of people, and maybe I'll do that at some point. I think the keto, like carnivore thing definitely works. Yeah. But dude, I'm telling you, if I do like carnivore or keto, I don't get night boners.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, dude, if I eat like tons of carbs that night, I can't turn over. I'm just like on my back the whole night. Yeah. It's pretty.
Well, it's not just the energy; it's I get grumpy.
Really?
With carbs, yeah.
I'm always grumpy. There's maybe I need to stop.
Yeah, but you're fun to hang out with. I don't think I've ever seen you grumpy.
But I am sleepy all the time, and I can't figure out why.
Okay.
And I sleep like 9 or 10 hours sometimes.
Whoa.
Yeah. I think dude, my body's sore all the time.
Yeah.
Like
if you're training, you're gonna.
Yeah. I'm training like 6-7 days a week.
That's the thing I'm getting used to. Is Nick told me, he's like, we were doing I forget, bench press or something. He says, if you think you hit your max, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you can always do more.
Yeah. I mean, somebody like that's on a different level. Like, I mean, fighting professionally like that in a time when there was not many regulations and stuff like that.
It was so brutal.
Dude. I mean.
So brutal. And they wouldn't just fight once in a night.
Yeah, dude. They're like, man, I respect fighters so much, dude. It takes so much balls.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing compared to. I was actually watching the Strickland fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually watched it last night.
Dude, he's a badass.
Well, I mean, he lost and he got his nose broken, but it was just so weird how blood everywhere, gets his nose broken. He's just like cracking it back in, and dude, I'd be crying.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't take pain really. I get a hangnail and I'm crying.
Yeah, dude.
But it is interesting to think like. So what I found out about me is that I can't do it myself. I need to work out with other people.
Yeah.
At a set time every day. Like, okay, 9 a.m. Wednesday, we're gonna meet at the gym.
Yeah.
And then I'll be there.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to disappoint them.
Yeah. I mean, that's like that with meditation as well. Like they say Zazen or something like that. Like when you're doing Zazen with other people, it's way easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, that's everything. Because I had a gym membership. Anytime's a great gym.
Yeah.
I mean, you can use any gym in Japan. I think in the world, right?
Yeah.
And it's really reasonable, like 8,000 yen a month. Right?
Yeah.
But I go there, I'm thinking, okay, I'm kind of tired. Okay, so I'll do some bench. Okay. Oh, but somebody's using the squat rack. I'll do that next time.
Yeah.
No. This. We go to the gym, and here's your workout, and this is what you do.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, you're done.
Yeah.
And then you look at the guy next to you that you meet every day to train together, and you're thinking, okay, he knows I can do more.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to wuss out today.
Yeah.
And then also we do like 1 hour.
Yeah.
I see these guys like, oh, if you're not doing 3 hours a day in the gym, you're a baby. Like,
yeah.
Dude, my age and my fitness level.
Well, even mine, man.
Dude, 1 hour, when you go hard, that's
well, I work out like 2 hours or 2.5 hours twice a week. But the only reason I do it that long is because I don't want to go to the gym any more than twice a week. So if I could do jiu-jitsu and gym the same day, I'd be splitting the gym up to much shorter. Mm-hmm. I definitely lose my concentration.
Another thing I find out is my sleep. So that's one thing I always neglected. Well, besides the food.
Yeah.
I didn't have a good diet and didn't exercise as hard as I should.
Yeah.
I was really taking it easy. And the food makes such a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure.
But sleep.
Well, dude, I can tell now, just since I'm getting older, that I can't sleep as much as I used to. But I was like 10 hours a day forever. That was the one thing I never sacrificed with sleep.
Okay, smart.
Yeah, even in college, like if I didn't study, I'd always just sleep.
Good for you.
It was like maybe I'll fail the exam, but usually I'd wake up really early and like study, and I do just fine.
Yeah, well, it's for like repair, for recovery, and mentally.
Yeah.
Sleep is
testosterone, dude. That's like the biggest. That's by far the biggest thing for sure.
Really? Oh, then I really need to
testosterone. I showed it to you, right?
Yeah, it's off the charts.
Yeah,
dude.
It's like I think the max for my age is like 900 something, and I'm like 1,200 or something. So yeah.
I can feel when I walk in the room. Actually,
really,
I'm in a high T environment.
Yeah, well, part of it's just me being small, Napoleon complex. But dude, it's like my dad's like that too. He's small. So like you said, you have to be with people in the gym. I grew up with a dad who was a wrestler, did judo, who is eating the same meal every day for like 65 years, never changes it, wakes up every day at 4:30 in the morning and works out for an hour and a half or 2 hours.
Dude, it's a beast.
Yeah, I mean he's he won't change his routine for anything. Like, say I had to go to the hospital, he'd make my mom do it. He goes to the gym. You know what I mean? He's like, you know, God bless his soul, but you know, yeah.
I get it. Yeah, like with my work, I'll get an email at like 10 o'clock at night. Hey, you need to open this file and look at it right away.
Yeah.
And before you know it, or I'm working on a video because I'm doing, you know, YouTube and practicing.
Yeah.
So I'm working on a video, and before I know it, the sun is coming in through the living room window. I'm like, oh, dude, I did it again. And
if I'm at home, no work past 6. That's my rule.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Smart. Very smart.
Yeah. No work past. I'd rather wake up early and do the work. Yeah.
You can get a lot done. So it's late in the day, like 10 a.m. is the gym.
Yeah.
But if I can wake up at 5, I can get 4 hours of work done.
Yeah.
Go to the gym, and you know, getting there, getting back, like hour and a half, 2 hours the whole way. Maybe do some shopping on the way home, get some steaks.
Yeah.
And then get home and work 4 more hours. It's like I've only worked half a day, but you're getting 8 hours, you know?
Yeah.
And it breaks up the day, and then, you know, you're good.
Yeah, man, I think it's so much easier being like in your 20s and not having routines. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I don't like, there's people that love traveling and stuff like that. I like traveling, but I don't like traveling because I can't go to the Jiu Jitsu place that I go to because I can't go to the gym that I like because I can't go to the studio right here and work. You know, I can't go to the cafe. Like, everything's routine. I don't know if that's a good thing. I think I'm like a little bit too routine, but
I'm a creature of habit. Like, I like my steak and eggs.
Yeah.
And when I travel, that used to be an excuse to go off the rails.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they got a buffet. I can have 10 croissants for breakfast.
Yeah.
And jam and, you know.
Yeah. So I shouldn't say that I like sugar that much because I never eat shit like that.
Okay.
Like, I know I'll feel like shit. When I said I like cereal, I have like a 3-year-old's portion of cereal. Like, like today I had a piece of toast that was like this big and 5 eggs and then a bunch of like protein yogurt. Yeah.
Everything in moderation. Yeah. Like, I wish I could do moderation.
Yeah.
But I have such an addictive personality. If I have like one donut, I want the whole box.
Really? I can definitely. Yeah, I mean, other good things for that are like coffee and nicotine for sure.
Yeah.
To fight that off. Yeah. That's something that I got into nicotine last year, so.
Yeah, cigars?
Well, first, you know, nicotine gum, which is a weird thing to get into, but it's from like one of the healthiest guys I know, who's like one of the biggest YouTubers on fucking YouTube. You know who I'm talking about. I won't say his name. He has millions of followers. He's like, yeah, you just take this small amount of nicotine and there's the benefits, and I looked it up.
They say it helps with creativity?
Well, I mean, it helps with focus for sure. It's a stimulant, but it has a shorter half-life than coffee, right? So you could chew a nicotine gum and then go to sleep an hour and a half later. So coffee, it takes a little bit longer, but I like both, dude.
I love my coffee.
Yeah.
Got an espresso machine, start the day with a double espresso.
Nice. Yep.
Honestly, on the way to the bathroom in the morning, I hit the espresso machine.
Yeah, dude. Well, dude, I piss literally fucking 15, 20 times a day.
Right.
I have so much coffee, I'm just pissing all the time.
Did you drink a lot of water or just coffee?
I drink a lot of everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So I drink a lot of water, a lot of, you know, creatine water. Do you take creatine?
I have some.
Yeah, you should be taking it.
I heard you're supposed to cycle on and off. Or it gets bad for you.
No. You take it. You just keep taking it. No, don't have to cycle. Do take creatine. That will help you.
Another thing, since I have a sweet tooth, apple cider vinegar.
Oh yeah, that's good.
In the morning, dude. This is what I read, and I'm not a doctor, but I hear that the gut, if you crave sweets, there's something in the gut. I think candida.
Really?
Right. That makes people crave sweets. It does. It sounds really, really bad.
Yeah, I got candida.
It can. Better go to the doctor and get a shot. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So where do you get the?
This is a Google search. And apple cider vinegar, I think I went to Seijo Ishii.
Okay, I'll go to Seijo Ishii. Yeah, I like the taste of it. It tastes fucking good.
It's amazing. I call it lemonade.
Oh, wow.
You know, I'll drink it, and I don't dislike it.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but they say that it takes care of the candida yeast in the gut. And the candida is what makes people crave sweets.
Well, I think candida is a yeast infection.
Is it?
It's candida, right?
It just sounds really bad. Maybe I got the wrong
I don't know.
disease,
Whatever.
wrong bacteria, whatever. But this, anyway, what it does, apple cider vinegar is supposed to help you with cravings with sweets.
Interesting.
And then also supposed to help with weight loss.
Nice.
and on its own, and
Nice.
then many other like cleansing benefits. Like do a Google search. It's
Yeah,
good
yeah,
for you,
I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
Good for you,
Yeah,
and I do that on an empty stomach in the morning.
awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I get quite a bit of YouTube comments, because some of those videos get a lot of views, and it annoys people because I'm chewing nicotine. Like it's really rude to be chewing, and it's funny because I think I told you before. Sometimes it makes me less funny when I'm chewing nicotine.
Really?
Yeah, because I get too like. I have really bad ADHD, if that's even a thing.
Okay.
I mean, everybody's like, Nick, I've never met anybody who's like worse. Like, you can't finish sentences. You jump all over the place. You can't concentrate. So I'll chew the nicotine. It will help me concentrate. And it makes me less funny, I feel.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I feel like I'm more creative without the nicotine.
Okay.
If it's like computer work, nicotine's good.
Well, you need to be
Yeah.
laser focused for.
But I really got into cigars recently, too. And that's really, dude, it's like I meditate every day. I've done it since I was 19. Have I told you this?
No.
My
Maybe
Japanese
you did
teacher's
before, I
husband
forgot.
was like a Zen, not Zen. It was Nichiren.
Okay.
But he was into Zen too. So we do Zazen for like 40 minutes
Whoa.
at like this like temple. And I've done it every day since I was 19 and I'm almost 30 now. So how long is that? About 20 years.
Almost 40.
I'm almost 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. So almost 20 years. Yeah.
Meditation. It's funny because speaking of ADHD, I've talked to people before, and there's that moment in the conversation where they look at me and say, "Have you ever tried meditation?"
Yeah.
And I think they're trying to tell me, like, dude,
I mean, it's really good. I mean, like, if anything, at least it's like 20 minutes of not doing anything during the day.
And I've never heard of any like detriment to meditation.
No, except you do lose 20 minutes to meditation, but yeah.
Still.
I mean, the health guy who we know, the YouTuber, I mean, he's done like 2 weeks, like 8 hours a day meditation, fasting and shit like that.
Dude,
So.
I want to try one of those meditation retreats.
I do too, but my kid, I can't do it because
Yeah.
You could do it, dude. You could
With
do
my
it.
job, though.
Oh yeah. You need like 12 days. Yeah.
I can't take.
You can't
12 days
talk for
off,
like a week or something like
Oh, forget that.
Yeah.
I'd make it like an hour and like, I give up.
Yeah.
Keep my money.
Yeah.
But no, another thing I changed was cold showers.
Oh, nice. So you do
I do cold showers,
Yeah.
And I have a small, shower, so it's like a unit bath.
Yeah.
So the there's like a floor here, and then a sink, and then the shower, and it's all plastic, right?
Yeah.
So for people who haven't seen a unit bath in Japan, but the sink is right there, my toothbrush is right there.
Yeah.
And I hated setting a timer because I thought, like, okay, I'm going to set the timer and go 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So what I do now is while I brush my teeth, I do cold water.
Nice.
And I brush my teeth slowly, as slowly as
Nice.
possible. Every once in a while, a cold plunge if I can.
It's probably good I should do that for my joints, man.
Yeah. So we rented a place called, there's a company called Tiny Base in Shizuoka.
Okay.
They have tiny houses for rent. And they also sell them. But they rent them out so people can see how awesome they are, right?
Yeah.
So they have like Tiny Base the river, which is by the Kawazu River with the cherry blossoms.
Oh, that's amazing.
So you can rent the river, you can rent the rock, the sea. We stayed there, and they had 2 baths.
Wow.
And I think most people think like, oh, my girlfriend, my wife, and I, we can both take because they're a small bath big enough for one person to sit. You got to bend your legs, right? We did the hot bath and the cold.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing better than that, like going to the Sento and the sauna and then going into the cold bath afterwards, stuff like that.
But if you don't have a place to do a cold plunge, a shower.
Yeah, I mean, I think shower is harder than the cold plunge.
Well, yeah, you.
I don't know why.
You don't get that air around you of the, like you don't want.
I feel like it's like the movement of the cold water makes it worse. Like if once you're in the cold plunge, you can't do shit. You've already sat down.
You're there.
With a shower, you could easily just
you can shut up. It's a mental game, and then the first couple times. So, let's see. I heard people doing this, like, Joe Rogan talks about cold plunge. He's got his Instagram videos of the cold plunge and, breaking the ice to get in the morning.
Yeah. I bet that's harder than what we can do because all we can do is put ice in a bath, right? Yeah.
So, I tried a cold shower and I turned it all the way cold. And it was so cold I got a headache.
Wow.
I thought, screw it, I'm never doing this again. This is stupid.
Yeah.
And about a year later, I heard somebody, I want to say Gary Brecka.
Yeah.
Talk about cold shock therapy. I thought, okay, I'll try it again. And so I just gradually turned it down. Now I just got to where, okay, I know exactly where the cold point is in the shower. I'll turn it to cold and just.
Oh, really? I don't do it now, but whenever I did it, I would just turn it, because it's fucking freezing in Japan.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize. I'll say
No.
people talk about cold water, and like even my friend from Holland, where it's much colder than Japan,
Yeah.
he's always like, it was way worse in Japan. Like,
Oh yeah, the tap water
freezing.
shower. Yeah, you turn the shower and you turn it all the way to blue, which is
yeah,
cold.
yeah,
It's freezing cold.
yeah. I don't know if that's an actual thing, but I know it's. Yeah, I don't do cold showers
Really
anymore,
cold.
but-
Yeah. So I do the cold showers. Another thing is hydrogenated water.
Yeah, you were telling me about
Yeah,
that.
it's crazy. So the gym I go to across in Nishiazabu, they have a machine that puts hydrogen in the water. And it was really funny. I was listening to Gary Brecka, and he was talking to somebody about this hydrogenated water. And some people think like, oh, there's H2O, there's hydrogen in water already. Well, this is like extra hydrogen. And he was saying like some of these fighters like John Jones
Yeah,
will actually take a hydrogen water bath for recovery.
yeah,
And so I drink that as much as I can. Like I'll go in, fill up my...
yeah,
Oh, and by the way, not plastic.
yeah.
I'm getting away from plastic.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to get away from plastic.
It's
in
really
general.
hard.
Yeah.
Well, everything's wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
But I got, instead of Teflon, I got cast iron.
Yeah.
Cooking, big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't noticed a huge improvement, but like over time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess do it when you can, right?
Exactly. Well, just little changes, right? That can improve your life.
Yeah.
Especially like little changes that you don't notice like at the time. Like spend $50, get a cast iron fry pan.
Yeah.
And when I was throwing out my Teflon fry pan, I noticed that it was like cracked on the bottom. No, not like a break, but you could see the Teflon was coming off.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, did I eat?
Yeah,
Teflon?
yeah. I can't imagine that's good for you.
Oh my gosh, it can't be, right?
Yeah.
So cast iron, and you get it. You follow the instructions how to set it up and stuff.
Yeah.
And then use it, and I feel amazing. I cook steak and eggs together.
Nice.
And then at the gym, instead of like a plastic cup, I'll use like a metal cup.
Nice.
I go in, fill it up, drink it as I'm working out. On the way out, I'll fill it up again. So I'm drinking like 2 liters of that water
That's awesome.
every day.
Nice.
And I think it makes a difference.
Yeah. Probably does.
It does.
Probably
And then,
does.
dude, I used to when we did squats, I would always my right knee was so painful.
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm thinking, okay, I'm 55. Like,
Yeah.
He's just, dude, when I turned 55, the first time in my life I started to feel old.
Yeah. That sucks because I really feel it right now.
Yeah. Well, it was like, I don't walk as fast. I'm on my way to the store. People are walking past me.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I just can't keep up.
Yeah.
And energy levels, cognitive, I think I'm still there.
Yeah.
I might still have all my marbles, but I could feel things slowing down.
Let me read something my dad sent. So he's 83 now.
Okay.
He can do all these insane exercises that I can't do. He's 83, so it's ridiculous what he can do. Well, let me just read, because he sent something to me, which was very cute. He's very competitive. So we just did a body composition test for the whole staff at our company. I tested the highest for muscle mass with a 92.6%. Pretty good for an old fart, Dad. Yeah, so he's like has more muscle mass than any of them.
90% muscle mass.
92%. Yeah. And he's 83. Yeah.
He's a savage.
Yeah, he's a fucking savage.
Whoa.
It's pretty crazy what he's...
That's
the way he's
awesome.
lived his life. Yep.
That's awesome.
He does drink a lot too, though.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
Well, you got to live.
Yeah.
Well, so when I would do a squat or something, my right knee would hurt really bad.
Yeah.
To the point where I had to I couldn't do the full range of motion, right?
Yeah.
But I just kept with it. And I think what happened is I built more muscle around.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you have to build muscles around you. I mean, I mean, you look at the knees over toes guy stuff.
Yep.
Like, that's
Love that guy.
no joke. Yeah, dude, I'd ruined my knees in October of last year. And I don't know if it was the MCL or a tendon or the... I have no idea.
Just painful.
Yeah, very painful on the insides. Like, it was hard to walk. And I started doing those exercises with some other ones my dad showed me, and then some other ideas that I just had, and
dude,
it's amazing. Yeah.
So I quote Nick all the time because I hang out with him 5 days a week. But said the other day, sorry Nick if I get this wrong. He said something to the effect of, the biggest problem for human beings that leads to death is weakness.
Yeah.
And I'm not thinking, diabetes or cancer. Okay, that's another topic. But weakness.
Yeah.
Right. And so then I will say, I'll take over the mic here. What's the answer? If the problem is weakness, then build strength.
Yeah, right? yeah.
And so that's what I'm starting to do. I'm not the expert, but...
I'm like a dick. I don't act on this impulse, but when I see somebody who looks weak, who's like maybe younger than me or something, I just get mad at them. Like, I'm like, It's not a very nice thing, but I'm nice. I'm nice to them, but like...
You're nice outwardly. Like,
but
myself, I can't speak for anybody else, but inwardly, I'm a real jerk.
Yeah, I think lots of people are.
I have an inner dialogue that's just like, look at that loser, look at that loser. Oh, she's ugly. Oh, he's stupid. Yeah, that inner dialogue all the time. Now,
a lot of it's like, God damn, she's fine as hell.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
So they're like, God damn, she's fine as hell. She's fucking ugly. That guy looks like a real pussy. What's wrong?
But I did notice though, because where I live in Minato, is crowded. Everywhere you go.
Yeah.
You're walking down the street and nobody's looking where they're going. They're all on their phone.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm just thinking, just get out of my way.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other day I was walking down the street.
Get the fuck out of my way.
And some idiot was walking toward me, not like looking around, not paying attention.
Yeah.
You know what I did?
What?
I just stepped out of the way.
Yeah.
I was like, I never used to do that.
Yeah. You're getting soft, as my dad says.
No. So I was telling people, like, I'm becoming a nicer person.
Yeah.
Outwardly.
Yeah.
Usually I would like just walk up to them and, wait for them to look up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't bump into people. That's like,
Yeah.
too mean. But
yeah.
So I just walked out of the way. I'm like, okay, the guy's not looking where he's going.
Yeah.
I just move out of the way and get back on the sidewalk. And I was like, I never used to do that.
Yeah.
Never used to do that.
Yeah.
So, fitness journey, man. Keep it up, dude.
Yeah, you too, man.
Here I am, the beginner, telling you.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I think I'd die if I don't know what I'd do.
You know what Jocko
I'll get
says?
injuries where I can't do certain stuff, and just that's like...
You know what Jocko says? Train till you die.
Yeah.
That's it.
I do think there is and I don't follow this advice at all, but there's this thing like you should train all the time, and a lot, like one of my ideas for this year was like, listen to your body. When you can't do stuff, don't do it, because I always test myself and then end up getting injured. Like last year I was injured throughout the entire year, man. I'd had to tape up my wrists all the time. I still do tape them up just for preventative measures, but like, train smart and train and keep training.
Yeah.
That's
the thing I've learned in 2025, specifically the last couple of weeks, is I can do more.
Yeah.
Because I've always been sedentary.
Yeah.
I'm working at a desk and then I'm editing videos.
Yeah.
That's like 16 hours a day on your butt.
Yeah.
And then not eating healthy. But then that I can do more. So I was doing ring pull-ups.
Nice.
And one guy says, okay, Tracy, you can do 2 more.
Yeah.
And the other guy says, yeah, 2 more. Since I'm a smartass, I did 4 more.
Nice.
And they're like, what are you doing? I said, well, you said 2 and you said 2.
Yeah.
So I did 4.
Yeah.
The last one was so hard, I could barely pull myself up. And I was like, I was going to stop at 3.
Yeah.
I did 7.
Yeah.
And that hit me so hard. I was like, whoa, I can. And now I know what failure feels like.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm cool because I have this voice in the back of my head like, you fucking bitch. Like that. Dude, I don't know why I'm talking about my dad today, because I never talk about him, but it's really like, I'd walk, because we had a gym at our house, and if we were in the gym while he was working out, he'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Like he'd like yell at us, but I'd creep up on him in the gym, like doing like bicep curls. I can't even say the words that he said just because this day and age, but he'd say things like, I'd hear him talking to himself like, you fucking pussy, like, talking out loud, like,
So he seems like a guy that can make himself work out.
He's a guy that can make himself work out
on his own.
Yeah. I'm the type of guy that can make I'm the opposite. It's harder for me to not work out when I shouldn't work out. I always say I'm always the healthiest after I've had the flu or corona. Dude, whenever I had the flu or corona, I'm so strong. Yeah. Because I'll rest for like 5 days not doing anything, and I'll like have this insane energy that I...
Okay.
Yeah. I'll never forget it. The first time I got corona, like 5 days later, I was like, I've never felt this good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's just because I'm like so tired all the time.
Not medical advice, but get corona.
Yeah.
You get a break.
Yeah. You get to take a break. Yeah.
The other thing I learned, so one is I can do more. Number two is that, we'll probably end on this, is that if something feels weird, stop.
Yeah. That's like with knees, man. I mean, dude, I was exercising with no ACL for so long. Never even suspected it. I knew it was hurt really bad.
Yeah.
But,
It's like David Goggins, man.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't even think the way he does stuff is the right way. You know, he's insane. But,
he's another level of human being that I can't.
Yeah. That's just something I can't connect with.
Yeah.
I do think you should enjoy yourself. And like, even with guys who I see who fight, you know, with me or stuff like that, sometimes I'm like, it's not worth it. Like, dude, I was with a guy, super nice guy, has a huge social media following in America. He's British.
Okay.
A savage fucking, I mean, I just see his body and you see his ears and you would never want to fight him. But he can't straighten his arms just because the bone has gotten so fat in his elbows. So whenever he has to get surgeries, the doctors will be like, can you straighten your arms out? He's like, no, I can't straighten my arms. I'm like, the first thing I was thinking is I'm going to try to keep the pace I'm at with what I'm doing. I don't, you know, I'm not going to be a pro. Yeah. That's what it was like with boxing when I was like sparring, which I want to get back into. I suck now. I took like a year off and then tried to spar and just got my ass kicked. But I was getting punched in the head and just getting headaches and stuff like that for about a year. And I was like, I think the headaches are not worth it. You know?
Not worth it, yep.
Unless you're going to be pro.
That's true.
Yeah, unless you're going to be a pro.
True. And you know, I think there's a movement against, maybe not everybody is full contact, but actually contact sparring. Yeah.
But, you know, and people do say that. I've seen like that famous YouTuber. He's some European guy who's like, talking about like playing instead of fighting. Yep. But there is a difference between play fighting and fighting. Like my friend fought like an exhibition match last year. Okay. And I asked him, I was like, have you been heavy sparring? And he was like, no. And I was like, dude, you're gonna get your ass kicked. And I sparred with him once. Heavy sparred with him once. And he's bigger than me, stronger than me, but he was just too scared of getting hit. Like I just was like, I was like, he's gonna get his ass kicked. He got his ass kicked.
There I see the point of sparring.
The other guy was sparring really, but you know, there are pro fighters that don't spar too. I don't understand how you could go in with a nerve without
knowing what it's like to get hit in the face.
Yeah,
because that's a different feeling,
dude. Even just having somebody like, you know, you know, there's a place for that as well. But ask Nick what is his opinion on that actually.
Well, I don't know his opinion, but I read his book.
Can you ask him and message me?
Sure.
I want to know what his opinion on sparring is, because I don't understand, especially with striking. I've never done mixed martial arts, but boxing, and I needed to get that.
So I read his book, and Kyokushin, they spar full contact.
Yeah, they're fucking insane.
They're insane. And it's interesting because I read his book, and then I listened to Joe Rogan talk about his Taekwondo dojang, which dojang is the dojo in Korean. But they tell similar stories. Yeah. You would go to war. You would try to kill each other.
Well, dude, I have a guy I know who does Kyokushin too, and I was watching his fights the other day, and he knocked 3 guys out, and there were no gloves. It was really interesting to see him do it. It was also weird because there were guys that were clearly much older than him, where if it was like a boxing thing or something like that, or like with Jiu Jitsu, if you were, you know, they have masters and all that stuff. Yeah. So it was like, that's kind of strange that this 45-year-old looking guy is fighting this insanely in shape 22-year-old guy. But maybe it was just like a open thing or something like that.
Yeah, maybe they do by belts instead.
Yeah. I don't know what
weight
it was.
Class, whatever.
Yeah.
So they did full contact in the dojo.
I'm curious to see what Nick would say.
So if I were to ask him now, say if you were to train somebody for a boxing match, would they do full contact sparring? Is that the question?
Yeah, that would be my contact, because my opinion would be yes. Okay. I'd say you have to do both. But I know there are fighters that don't. I just don't understand how you could have that.
I think those fighters have already gone through full contact
sparring. Yeah, maybe they have, and they stopped.
And they're like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah. I mean, there's boxers like James Toney or stuff like that who just did sparring, basically. You know, they didn't want to do anything else. They just get in the ring and say, come on.
Yep.
Who wants to spar me today? Or like even like Sean Strickland's like that, right? Like,
Dude, he's a savage, man.
But just because you're doing full contact sparring doesn't mean that you win. Because obviously, clearly he didn't.
True.
The last one, but I mean, it was. I just couldn't believe how he was just still standing, chasing.
Well, I just watched a couple things on Sean Strickland. It just came to my YouTube feed last night. Watched a couple things. There's an interview with Theo Vaughn. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Theo Vaughn was like so cool.
Yeah. I mean, he's really funny, but
but when he's like the best friend everybody wants to have.
Dude, I say my thing is get back in shape, get all the fundamentals with what you're doing with Nick now, and then start doing that, and then try jiu-jitsu again. I would go to come to my gym. I promise you won't get. Okay. I promise you, if you go with the guys, like you just tell them, I don't want to get injured.
Yeah, and I don't want to do competition. I don't really care.
Yeah, you don't have to do competition. The guys that don't, there's guys that never get injured because they, you can go very slow and light.
Yeah. I mean, there's still something in the back of my head that says like, okay, because in the West we have no rite of passage.
Yeah.
In Japan, they got the Seijinski. That's your adult's day. Other cultures, they have this certain ceremony where like, okay, today you're a boy, now you're a man.
Yeah.
And I did. I graduated high school. I passed the bar exam, but I never really had anything like a black belt.
Yeah.
And there's always, since I was like 20 years old, or even since before that, when I saw Karate Kid, I thought, I want to get a black belt.
Well, dude, with me, right now I'm like, I don't want the belt because I want to beat people. You know what I mean? I want to be like the guy that's really the
10-year brown belt.
Yeah. That's what now I'm finally thinking maybe I should do some competitions because I kind of have some confidence. But dude, you learn so much about yourself like through martial arts, and I think jiu-jitsu is such a good one, man.
It's probably one of the best, and seriously, like the nicest people you meet.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. And wrestling is great too. I've been wrestling at the university. The cool thing about Japanese universities is I just went up to one of them. I was like, can I train with the wrestling team? And they were like, yeah, you can train with us whenever you want. So I tore my teres major and minor, I think, like the first or second time I did it, which put me out for a long time. But
wrestlers are different too. It's like,
oh dude, jiu-jitsu is like hardcore, but the training for wrestling is like not even, it's on a totally like the athleticism that is required is
these guys like Justin Gaethje are so tough. He's so durable.
My high school didn't have sports like wrestling. It was like team sports, and I'm so small. How could I play basketball? How could I do? I wish I could have done wrestling or something like that. Yeah. So. Anyway.
So I think the thing is, so what I was told is that you need to be able to tie your shoes when you get older.
Yeah.
And the functional, like the ability to like pick up a child or something, like, or to pick up the groceries, walk up the stairs, That's as 55 now, like as I'm thinking, okay, 65, then people will think, then I think I'm old.
Well, the thing with me is I'm hurt so much all the time. I think about that myself because I'm like, if I wasn't doing all this stuff, it'd probably be easier to tie my shoes and pick up. Really, man. Like today, my knees are hurting pretty bad for some reason. Yeah, man.
But I think, to be 80 years old and be able to tie your own shoes.
Yeah.
Get dressed, take a bath. And with that, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you, man. Thanks. Okay.